Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the new movie, The Woman King. I was happily surprised to find out that The Woman King is directed by Gina Prince-Blythewood, whose most notable films are The Old Guard, The Secret Life of Bees, and Love and Basketball. The fact that this movie is based on a true story drew me in, so I had to check it out. The synopsis is as follows. The Woman King is a 2022 American historical epic film about the Agoji, the all-female warrior unit who protected the West African kingdom of Dahomey during the 17th to 19th centuries. Set in the 1820s, the film stars Viola Davis as a general who trains the next generation of warriors to fight their enemies. So without further ado, let's get into the 6 things that make a movie great. 1. The plot. The way that this plot is driven is by following the character of Nawi. She's a young girl who lives in the Dahomey village, and despite her family's best efforts to get her with a rich, older man, she rejects the idea and is eventually rejected by her family. She's given as a gift to the king and ultimately put into the all-female warrior unit of the Agoji. Through her getting trained and just the rising tensions between the Dahomey and the other tribes and the slavers that have set up shop in a nearby bay, we get to see this story unfold quite nicely. Despite how simple that plot sounds, it was actually a really compelling and awesome story. It really seemed like Blythewood kept this as a historically accurate piece, and there was no underlying themes or subliminal messaging having to do with current culture, which is extremely refreshing. The story is engaging the whole time, and it ends up being quite an epic film. So for me, plot gets a thumbs up. 2 is family friendliness. This movie stays within the PG-13 rating pretty nicely. There's very minimal profanity, there's quite a bit of action and violence, there's some blood, and probably the most disturbing thing in this movie is an implied scene of rape. During that extremely brief scene, they don't show anything and it's not focused on for very long, which for me is yet another really refreshing thing about this movie. So besides the violence, I have to give family friendliness a thumbs up. 3 is acting and script. This movie was chock full of excellent performances. Viola Davis absolutely crushed it. Thuso Mbedu was an incredible protagonist, and her acting performance reflected what someone going through what she was going through would act like. Sheila Atim as Amenza did an excellent job. It's hard to pick a favorite performance in this movie, as they were all really excellent, but one of my favorite performances was from Lashana Lynch, playing the character of Azoji. I thought her performance was absolutely incredible, and every time she was on screen and interacting with the other characters, it was just movie magic. In the script of this movie, chef's kiss. All of the interactions between characters and the dialogue between characters was amazing. It's been a long time since I've seen a movie with a really good script that doesn't have any cheesy moments, and this movie definitely set itself apart because it was awesome. Acting and script get a huge thumbs up. 4 is character development. The character development in this movie was amazing as well. As we get to know the character of Nawi and see her character progression in the movie, we also get to see her relationship developed with many of the other characters. Nawi and Naniska have a really nice character arc, as do Nawi and Azoji. In fact, their dynamic on screen was one of the most magical things about this movie. The clearly long-standing friendship between Naniska and Amenza is also a really powerful dynamic seen in this movie as well. All of this really good character building and these powerful relationship dynamics don't surprise me because Blythewood has been able to do that before. But I gotta say, the character development in this movie is probably the best that I've seen from her movies. So character development gets a huge thumbs up. 5 is visuals and CGI. If there is any CGI in this movie, it's very minimal and it goes really well with the movie. And the visuals in this movie are pretty great. There's minimal jump cuts so you can actually tell what's going on in the fight scenes, which I enjoyed. And the fight choreography was pretty awesome, which if you've seen The Old Guard, you know that Blythewood is pretty good at finding fight choreographers. I will say there were a couple moments where I had to willingly suspend disbelief, like one moment when Nawi is fighting with a weapon that we've never seen her fight with before. And 1, it didn't really make sense with something that happens in her character arc, and 2, I don't know if the weapon is period accurate. And the other moment reminded me of X-Men Origins Wolverine. It wasn't as obnoxious as that, but it definitely was the only other movie that I've seen this done in. But the thing is that this movie is so good that those moments kind of just blend into the better parts of this movie. And while you're challenged for a second, you get right back into the high quality nature of this film. So for me, visuals and CGI get a thumbs up. And 6 is rewatchability. When I saw the trailers for this movie, I wasn't sure how it was going to be. When I heard it compared to the movie Gladiator, I was like, okay, yeah, right, I'm I'm probably going to be disappointed. But I gotta say, this is one of the best movies that I've seen this year. The runtime of this movie is 2 hours and 14 minutes, and even though I had to use the restroom an hour and a half into this film, I refused to. 1, for you, the audience, so I could give you a proper review. 2, because this movie was just that good that I didn't want to miss a single minute of it. However accurate this film is to the true story, it's just a pretty amazing film in and of itself. And I can honestly see how that person compared it to a movie like Gladiator, because it's definitely a movie that I would put up there with it. Rewatchability gets a thumbs up. With all these areas considered, I have to give The Woman King a 9 out of 10. This movie had incredible acting performances, amazing storytelling, excellent character development, and it was just an all-around top-notch film. With the lull that we've been seeing in quality movies recently in theaters, this is the movie that we've been waiting for. So regardless of what kind of movies you enjoy or what you're looking for, I would recommend everyone go see The Woman King in movie theaters, because it is that good. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen The Woman King, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.